Yesterday on this show, we talked a little bit about the brand new X-Men Dark Phoenix poster that dropped. And surprisingly enough, even though we've heard maybe the movie's not that good, we both liked the poster. We actually both thought the
Hmm.
poster was actually pretty good. Well, last night, the new trailer dropped. Rob, you had a chance to see this trailer last night. What do you think about the new trailer for X-Men Dark Phoenix?
I was confused by it. I mean, in the last teaser trailer we saw, it looked like Magneto was on Genosha, and the it looked like I was watching the trailer for X-Men 3. I mean, aside
Hmm.
from when they go into space to rescue the space shuttle when the Phoenix Force explodes and takes over Jean Grey, I mean, she's in a neighborhood. She like goes nuts in a neighborhood. Apparently, she does kill Mystique. Why they showed that in the trailer, I'll never know. Um, but they're fighting in a neighborhood just like in X-Men 3. The X-Men are shackled in a train, where they have to get broken out just like in X-Men 3. It looks like they took the X-Men 3 script, made a few tweaks to it, and we're seeing the same movie. I mean, this is such a beloved story. It's a cornerstone of X-Men mythology in the comics. It was a huge deal, and it had epic scope. Where's the Starjammers? Where's Lilandra? I guess that Jessica Chastain, her character, is only being called an alien. That's her. She's just the alien, like walking around. I looked at it and I'm like, this movie has no. Sure, there looks like okay, there's some scope to it, sort of, but not really. I mean, it after Days of Future Past, and whether you liked Apocalypse or not, and I know a lot of people didn't, it had some epic scope to it. This we get, she picks up a train. I mean, I'm confused. I don't see that it's different enough from X-Men 3. It was weird to me. I don't know. I love the characters. I love seeing those characters again, but the movie, I'm perplexed by it.
I'll tell you what, I had a very different reaction to the trailer than you did. I actually thought it was quite good. I actually thought the trailer was quite good. I think because in X-Men 3, the Dark Phoenix stuff in X-Men 3, let's be honest here, was a side note in that movie.
Yeah,
That wasn't even the main story of the movie. It was relegated to a sub story in the bigger story of the movie, which is really more about the kid who had the power to negate other mutants' powers, and Magneto wanted to kill the kid, and blah blah blah. That was the main story,
sure.
and Dark Phoenix was a side note. So on that, I don't get that sense at all. I get the sense that in this movie, Dark Phoenix is the story. And that's what this movie's going to focus on, and that's what this movie's going to be about. Now, I had the same reaction as you initially when I saw, like, when they basically laid it out for us that Mystique dies, right? I remember my first thought was, really? Why are you showing us that in the trailer?
Yeah,
But then I thought about it for about 5 seconds, and I thought, because we all already knew Mystique dies. Like from the first moment, like from that first trailer, when we see there's a funeral scene and we see Beast is really upset about it, is upset enough that he would look angrily at Charles and go, "This is your fault," and you never see Mystique in anything else past that in the trailer. We all knew. I mean, we talked about it on this show. We all knew Mystique dies. We all know. So I think what they did here was make a decision to say, hey, everybody knows Mystique's going to die in this. Let's embrace that in the trailer to really up the stakes, to really let the conflict that the surviving characters will feel about what do we do about Jean, because it's not that just that she might be turning bad. She killed Mystique. And after I thought about it for a minute, I went back and watched the trailer again. And I thought, you know what? That actually makes it pretty effective for me because now I actually feel that turmoil the surviving characters may actually be feeling about this because it's still Jean, but she killed Mystique. She killed Charles's sister. She, for all intents and purposes, his sister. So
but
I actually dug it quite a bit.
see, I was hoping there would be more to the scope of the film, I guess, in terms of plot. I mean, okay, we know that Jean Grey's bad because the movie's called Dark Phoenix. But beyond that, there's nothing in the trailer that made me go, oh, they're really putting an interesting spin on this mythology. They told me nothing more than the title of the film in that trailer. I mean, what I mean is, what more is there? What more of the story is there other than Jean Grey just turning bad and crying and killing Mystique and the X-Men being mad, and you know Hank McCoy is going to leave and join Magneto because he's pissed, and it's just I don't know. It seemed like the whole movie is just the premise, and I wanted more to it than that because that story is so epic.
I don't know, man.
Where's the showdown on the moon, man?
But look, none of these comic book adaptations take directly from the comic books and play them out beat by beat. I mean,
know,
we know
but
that, right? And what else do we need to know? I mean, look, I'm always complaining. I will complain quite often if a trailer doesn't give us anything about the story. But I know the basic premise of the story now. Jean Grey, they go into space, some kind of entity in space possesses her body. It's now turning her incredibly powerful and a little bit dark, pardon the pun, turning her dark. She ends up killing one of her own teammates, and now the rest of the X-Men are in a bit, and as well as the other mutants as well, are now faced with this conundrum of how do we survive? How do we deal with this Jean Grey thing? Do we kill her? Do we try to save her? Blah, blah, blah. It told us all of that in the trailer. How much more do we want them to tell us? I mean, I'm always complaining. I'm the one, Rob, who complains about this trailer didn't show us anything. I felt like this trailer gave us a hell of a lot, and I think they did a good job making it feel much darker than what we're traditionally used to with this type of stuff. Now, look, this doesn't change anything as far as we have both already heard from different people that this movie has not turned out the way they wanted it to turn out. I mean, so the fact that they've put out a fantastic, in my opinion, a pretty damn good trailer, in your opinion, a pretty poor trailer, neither of our opinions changes the fact that it doesn't matter because we've all heard that the movie's probably not very good.
I don't think necessarily the trailer's poor, but it looks like the whole, other than when the Quinjet goes, or the Blackhawk goes up into space, it looks like the whole thing takes place in some suburban neighborhood and the X Mansion. Like, if you've got the Phoenix Force that's threatening the whole planet, show something that shows some scope in this movie. I mean, there's no people in it other than some soldiers and the X-Men themselves. I mean, is there a city being threatened? Like, if Jean Grey goes, full on Phoenix, so just let her move to the next suburban neighborhood. I mean, where's the threat?
I'll tell you what, though, the trailer got me, even though I've already heard the movie's not very good, the trailer got me more excited for the movie. I thought it was a step up from the previous trailer. And I thought they showed us enough. You clearly, though, however, feel a little bit. You're kind of feeling like they should have showed more scope, a little bit of some more things to differentiate this one from the previous X-Men 3 film.
After Days of Future Past and Apocalypse, this looks like, the X-Men have a vacation and they just happen to stumble upon Dark Phoenix. They're all kind of kicking it in the X-Mansion and living in suburbia.
Well. We'll have to agree to disagree on this one. Well, will the movie actually turn out to be salvageable? Who knows? We're going to have to wait until June to find. It's June 7th, I believe the film comes out, so it's not that far away. So let's see how this all turns out. All right, guys, let's now move on to our main topics of the day.